Welcome back to the Empower Podcast. My name is Blaine, and today we are joined by Ashish, CEO and lead engineer at Flac Finance, a RealFi platform that is faster, safer, and accessible to everyone, and obviously built on Cardano. So thanks, Ashish, for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting.
No worries. As mentioned kind of before we started recording, another team member of Empower kind of brought up your project and kind of brought it up as, another RealFi project in the space. So, whenever I see RealFi, I get excited. So I kind of dove a bit deeper into your project, learning more about it. And one cool thing I found was, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the team behind this is also the team behind CardanoScan and Typhon Wallet. Yeah. So when I heard that, I thought that was, really, really cool because I use those apps and like this is a team coming in with some experience. So yeah, I thought that was cool. So keen to learn more about the project and also learn about your RealFi angle as well. There's obviously different RealFi ways, different RealFi approaches. So keen to learn your angle. But to start us off, perhaps we can do an introduction. So can you tell the podcast a bit about who you are, your background, what you do, all that kind of stuff?
Sure. So I am the founder, CEO, and also the lead engineer at Flac Finance. I come from a computer science background. So I studied computer science, graduated, and started working with software companies. And then in late 2017, during the boom, I actually got into Cardano and started following Cardano from that time onwards. And so since then, actually it's kind of affection because of the technology that Cardano was working on. So sticking to Cardano from that time, and I'm just totally into Cardano. So after that, I actually teamed up with my friends, my family members, and my colleagues, basically. And we actually started building an explorer, and we named it CardanoScan, which actually a good one. I mean, in the sense, community liked it. So it's now the leading explorer on CardanoScan. And then we also led the development of Typhon Wallet. So that's pretty much is my background. Yeah. And Flac Finance is actually a RealFi platform, a finance RealFi platform. I see that MPOI is working towards real estate side of RealFi, and we are working on finance side of RealFi in terms of bridging the gap between cryptocurrency and the fiat world. So the idea of Flac Finance is something that we had from a long time. We just find that it's probably the right time that we are, building from a long time into the ecosystem, and we can actually now venture into this new product. So, with Flac Finance, we are. It's a similar, product like any of the lending projects you might have come across, like to name a few, like Nexo or Celsius. So it's there's a lot of similarities between them and Flac Finance, but we are mostly coming on the side of providing an ease of access to everyday users to cryptocurrencies. So we want to have Flac Finance as a platform, as a go-to platform to purchase cryptocurrencies and explore the utilities of cryptocurrencies. Like, it's right now it's like users can, mainly they trade cryptocurrencies and they hold cryptocurrencies for value appreciation. And it's like there's very little that you can do. So Flac Finance targets to provide utility to users in terms of giving them access so that they can do payments basically everywhere they go. So it's very difficult if you don't work with the governments, if you don't work with regulations, and we just keep fighting against them. So we mostly want to work with them and build this platform, and we want to be work as per the law, so we can achieve great potential. So if a user holds cryptocurrencies on Flac Finance, it's a mobile app, so they can go to a store and they can just do a payment just like they will do with normal currency, normal fiat currency, and without introducing new payment methods. So if they have they accept credit cards, they accept like mobile money, they say if they accept UPI, which is in India. So these kind of payment methods are something that you cannot like change over the night. I mean, it's being used by people from a long time. They know how these payments work. And with Flac Finance, what we want to do is integrate with this payment infrastructure. So, it's, for example, let's say if I'm holding cryptocurrency, if I'm holding some asset in my Flac wallet, and I want to go and buy a coffee. There's so many things. It's first of all, we don't want to make the coffee shop owner to have yet another a system to accept cryptocurrencies. And also we also cannot train users to use this new cool cryptocurrency to do payments, right? So it's that's what we are integrating. So as a normal user, I can just use Flac wallet. I can just go and I can use my credit card, or also I can scan a QR code to do a UPI transaction, and I will just go through Flac wallet to the coffee shop owner, and the coffee shop owner doesn't even actually care about like where this payment is coming from. It's coming from cryptocurrency, or from the payment is coming from the user. That's all the coffee owner knows. If there's for $1, the cryptocurrency on the fly just gets converted to $1 and then gets sent to the coffee shop. So that's what we are doing.
That's what you're doing. Okay, so that last bit that you're describing there, the user in a sense wouldn't really know or care that the payment is using crypto necessarily. It's kind of just, it happens, and it just so happens that crypto is the currency used for that exchange. One thing you mentioned was the regulation. So you're kind of embracing, I don't know if that's the word, or engaged, like you're wanting to be a regulated financial service. And on your website, you mentioned that regulated financial service for India and also worldwide. What's the reason for focusing on India? Is there some unique challenges there? Is it because you guys are based there, or what's the reason for kind of focusing on India? And what are some unique challenges and opportunities for a country like India when it comes to crypto and financial services?
Yeah, the first thing that came to our mind building first for India is actually because of the large number of user base in cryptocurrency. India is right now like the second most country, with like the highest number of cryptocurrency holders in the world. So just it just turned out to be the place to start with. And also we are from India, so it was kind of like we know the market, we know how payment infrastructures work in India. So it's a good first market opportunity for us. And then it's also about expanding to nearby countries. And we don't want to like build a platform that's globally accessible from day one, which is not possible because our focus itself is doing regulated finance. And until and unless a jurisdiction cannot regulate it, or cannot make it easier for us to do a business, it's not possible. So hence we're going step by step. We are launching a platform that has like crypto side of features and also fiat side of features. So the fiat side of features will be available to jurisdictions where we'll regulate. So that's going to be first India. And then the nearby countries, we are exploring Singapore. And then meanwhile, once we have like licenses, then we can actually give crypto services to over the world and fiat currencies like slowly.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So that because you're going through that regulated approach, you kind of need to take a step-by-step process, one kind of country at a time. You can't, if you're going through that regulated approach, you can't just throw it out and have everyone in the world use it in a regulated way. Like it has to be step-by-step.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I think this conversation in general in crypto is quite interesting because there is people that are fiercely maybe against anything regulation. Could you maybe speak to some of the, I don't know, pros or cons when it comes to blockchain and cryptocurrency, working with, you know, that regulatory framework? What are the unique opportunities, challenges around that sort of approach?
So yes, opportunities are huge. Of course, we all know. If you talk in terms of remittances, if you talk in terms of efficiency, so there's like huge opportunities using blockchain tech and cryptocurrency. But also there are challenges when we're working with regulations. It's not because, you know, the governments, you know, just because they don't want to regulate it, but it's because they want to safeguard the users. They want to safeguard the citizens. They, you know, it's if there is if there's some financial product happening in country, it's actually the governments will try and take a look if, you know, if you know, people won't get cheated on their money. So they try to regulate the markets, especially when there's finances involved. So the challenges are basically about it's very difficult to work with governments, in the sense it was difficult to work with governments actually, you know, a few years ago, I would say, because the blockchain tech was very new and only the techies would know about it. Even normal users like us, we itself were struggling with what's this mnemonics and what this, you know, public key, and you would end up sending your transfer to somebody else, and then you want to try and, you know, get it back. Can you please return it? So it's also now is the time that we at the Explorer received tons of support queries asking us to, can you please revert this ADA transfer? You know, I sent it by mistake to this address. So it's a lack of knowledge, and it's when it's happening with normal users, we can expect that the governments also, you know, is having trouble understanding the technology before they can regulate it. So it's happening slowly, and there are, you know, experts working with governments, so it's coming in place. Now, if we talk about India, actually, India now introduced cryptocurrency tax on the capital gains that you make, and they define the cryptocurrency, you know, term very nicely. They called it digital assets, and they had like very nice definition of defining digital assets that includes pretty much everything: cryptocurrencies and NFTs and whatever you can transfer on chain, which has some sort of value. So it's coming in place. And also Indian government also announced digital rupee also on chain. So it's coming in place, and, you know, things will be fine. But it's difficult, it's complicated, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely complicated, especially when you're talking about the intersection of crypto and government regulation. I can imagine that's a very complex and complicated space to work within. But, you know, a necessary part of this journey, I think, is managing that whole process, what that looks like. And like you said, we'll get through it alive. This is a long-term process. If you're in crypto, you know, the things that we're dealing with are fundamentally different to what's existed previously. And because of that fundamental difference, that's going to take, you know, a bit of time to kind of figure out at a global scale. Yeah, definitely. One thing I mentioned at the beginning was, you know, RealFi obviously empowers a RealFi project, and anything RealFi kind of I get excited about. But at the same time, RealFi, what that means is quite subjective. Like, it can mean slightly different things to different people. Some people maybe define it as, you know, RealFi is DeFi with real world impact, or RealFi is DeFi with linked to kind of real world assets. How do you think about RealFi? Like, what does RealFi mean to you as a project, or as a person, and as FlacFinance?
Yeah, that's a good one. So I want to actually give a bit of more info behind the scenes. So we have so many DeFi protocols now on Cardano, also on different other chains. We have like tons of them, right? And it's like a different universe on its own. You get inside this DeFi protocol, you do yield farming, and then you whatnot. You can pretty much do so much stuff, but it's like its own isolated universe. The people who are not into blockchain, who are not in cryptocurrency, they know nothing about it. Even some of the people that we talk to, like bank officials, they would come to us and say, oh, you know cryptocurrency, can you explain me what is Bitcoin? Now they don't even know what's Bitcoin or what's cryptocurrency, and we can't imagine them being knowing about this
Yield farming
protocol
or something.
Exactly. So you see, that's two different worlds, and they're totally isolated. It's something is happening, but you don't even know about it, right? And for us, this was the kick. So we call this a RealFi finance platform because we wanted to bring these people, real people, into the cryptocurrency world. And that actually made us name this project as a RealFi finance project, because what we want to bring in is a user should use Flac Finance very easily, comfortably in the terms. Say you just log into a social network, right? Everybody now knows WhatsApp, Twitter, or Facebook, and they made the process so easy for people to just sign up and get into and start using the platform. That's what we want to bring in for cryptocurrencies. So on Flac Finance, you just download it, sign up, and start using it. That's what the goal is, and you don't worry about what's a private key and what's a public key, and then we guarantee your funds are safe. So all those kind of stuff. So a normal user just starts getting access to investing in cryptocurrencies, and also taking loans as a cryptocurrency as a collateral, and whatnot. So that's why we call this a RealFi.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, when you think of DeFi, one thing that I think about is the fact that it can be this isolated, ecosystem. So if you're in crypto and you have a wallet and you know how to navigate this space, you can participate in that. But to an average person on the street, they will have no idea what you're talking about. They don't know what staking, yield farming is, all that kind of stuff. They have no idea. And there is, like, I think this disconnect between, there seems to be this disconnect between, DeFi activity and kind of real world financial activity. And, if there's a way to link that, then that's where that RealFi thing is coming from your side. And to be honest, maybe that regulation is maybe an important ingredient in linking those two worlds.
Otherwise, there are already tons of platforms also operating in India. They basically just allow users to trade cryptocurrencies like an exchange platforms, and also there's some platforms which allows users to buy and sell cryptocurrencies without a very easy to use interface. There are people trying to make it easy for everybody to get in and try cryptocurrencies. So, but that's the end of it. You buy some assets, you have to withdraw it to do something with it. So that's the the deadline. Now, if we have to provide much more features, much more utility, you have to work with the governments, and that's the only way to utilize the full potential.
Yeah, maybe you can, since you mentioned features, you want to maybe expand a bit on some of the features that you plan to have on FlacFinance?
Yes. So the main feature of FlacFinance is to focus on payments. So if you have some assets in your account, by the way, before that, it's the payments are actually via like loan. So in many jurisdictions and in India, it's if you sell your cryptocurrency, then you actually get capital gains tax on it. So what we are focusing on is to don't sell your assets, just use your assets. Like if you hold a house, you can put it on mortgage and then take some money and then utilize it for what you need, right? And then you can just repay the loan. So it's a similar concept. So you have some assets, you deposit on FlacFinance, then you instantly get like some amount of withdrawable loan, and that's something that you can use to do payments with. So if you have ADA, which has like current value of $1,000, then you would get, say, $200 or $300 worth of payment line, and then you can go to a store and just scan a QR code or swipe your credit card to just instantly take the nano loan out of it. So even if it's just $1, that's the main feature of FlacFinance. And then apart from that, we have you can do like staking. Basically, it's like as a user, it works like a savings account. So you deposit your cryptocurrencies and then you get interest on your assets, and that's something that you can use as the liquidity. Then you can swap between crypto assets, not trading. A simple swap, just like on the DeFi protocols. You want to convert your ADA to some token. It's very similar. So you want to convert your Bitcoin to Ethereum, again, just swap it. Right? You don't have to worry about the orders and stuff and like that. So like an easy to use interface. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and obviously there's more information on your website, which I'll link down below as well for people that want to learn more about it. One thing I'm curious about is mentioned earlier was the CardanoScan, the Typhon Wallet. Since you've kind of been building in the space for a while, what are some like lessons? Because you've been in this space pretty much since the beginning. What are some lessons that you've learned through building on Cardano, and what are some of those lessons that you can kind of transfer onto this project, FlacFinance? What are some of those kind of learnings that you've had so far?
Okay, that's yeah, it's a difficult one. So many things. It's like everybody knows, Cardano has quite a sophisticated, complex, and very powerful feature set. Yeah, when actually Shelly came out, there are tons of features that were actually available on the network but were not being used by many people because just they were not aware of it. Things like you could actually add multiple outputs to a single transaction. That's something that's trending now. That was just possible a long time ago. Then you could, like, when tokens came out, you could send multiple tokens in a single transaction. So there's so many things that's possible on the network. It's just you just need to know to utilize it. And since like we have been building in this space from like many years now, we have like pretty good technical foundation, and that's all that we can use. That's all technical knowledge, the technical foundation that we can use to build this project. And specifically, like I just want to let people know that CardanoScan also is powered by a proprietary backend system that is also built by our team. It's very similar to like DB Sync. So that's also one of the core features that we can utilize into building FlacFinance for the support of Cardano and native tokens.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned Cardano has a sophisticated and complex kind of feature set. When you were first learning about Cardano, was that kind of the thing that attracted you? Was this the technical part that makes Cardano unique compared to other projects?
Yeah, very unique. It's like one of its kind project in the ecosystem. So previously, pre 2017, I was actually building apps on Solidity, and then after 2017, I followed Cardano. At that time, there was nothing much that you could do. Things started actually when the Shelley hard fork came in. And then if you read the specifications of Cardano, you'll just be enlightened. Like, wow, I mean, the foundation of Cardano is so solid that, you know, it's here to stay. It's here to stay for centuries.
Yeah, I love hearing those words spoken by like someone with technical experience. Like when I read things, I have that, I think the same thing, but if I say it, you know, it doesn't really hold too much weight. But someone with you know, the tech experience, when they say that, it just, you know, it's nice hearing it, because that's I think a big reason why a lot of people are in this space, because of that technical foundation, the research-based scientific method foundation is very like doing things the right way from the get-go, kind of like measuring twice, cutting once sort of a thing.
Yes.
And when you're trying to build like the financial operating system of the world, it's better to take that approach. You don't want to, you want to cut once. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And every day, every day when you're working on Cardano, you'll just keep learning new things. Wow, okay, this is done for this reason, and then something you won't know today, but you'll get to know after a month, and you're like, wow, okay, this was actually planned for this reason, right? And the upgrades that have been happening, the hard forks that have been happening on Cardano, they're incremental. They're so awesome. The way they are done, they're backward compatible, of course, but you can't imagine, there's no such a big rewrite to build some new features to do a hard fork. If we are adding smart contract support now, so the Alonso hard fork happened after, you know, Mary, and you know, you would assume, okay, it's such a big feature, smart contracts are coming on chain, but when you look at the specifications, when you see how it's done, it's incremental. It's so nicely done.
Yeah, that's one thing that excites me about Cardano's future, is because the feature set is sophisticated, unique. Like, I'm learning new things as a user that I didn't realize I could do. Like you just mentioned, the one thing that is trending at the moment is the idea that you can have one transaction with multiple outputs. When I discovered that a couple of months ago, my mind was blown. I was like, this is like the coolest thing ever. And like those little things, which are kind of like Easter eggs, each little, you know, every couple of months or whatever it is, you're learning something new, which, because Cardano's technical foundation is kind of fairly unique, you don't see that really on other blockchains, because it's just a complete.
You can't compare. You cannot compare at all. It's uncomparable. I mean, whatever word you want to use, it's not possible. Cardano is just so unique. It's just so different.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine myself spending a bit of time actually looking at any other chain than Cardano at this time. It's impossible.
I love that. Okay, I think we're nearing the end of the podcast. There's a couple more kind of closing questions, but is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we haven't touched on yet?
We covered pretty much everything.
So the next question is, how can people kind of connect with you guys? How can they support your work? I know you have an ISBO, I think. Maybe want to speak to what that ticker is, and other ways that people can connect and support you guys.
I would like to speak a bit about that. So we had a seed sale when we launched the project, and we actually had a unique approach where we didn't we like fully went with the community-based investment. So we were like no VC investments in the seed round, and we do not even plan to do so. So we had like a fully community-driven seed sale, and it's now over, and the ISPO is going on, and ISPO has. We also have like ISPO dashboard, which you can visit on our website, and then you can also check your rewards every epoch by just connecting your wallet, and also by like searching your receive address. So it's fully transparent kind of a setup here.
Okay, so the ISPO is live at the moment. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll add those kind of links as well in the description. And also your social media, like Twitter's, for your socials, is it just Twitter or do you have other?
You can join our Discord,
yeah.
to engage with us, with the team, and talk and ask questions. And then you can follow us on Twitter, and also you can like follow us on Medium.